Hi, my name is Lizzy Polanco. I'm a professional makeup artist based in Los Angeles, California. I'll be doing a step-by-step tutorial on how I created this colorful, fun, groovy look using these brushes. So I started with S101 and I used this to apply my CC cream. I like to use that as my base. And then what I did is I went in with S100 and I added my foundation to add more coverage and more warmth. After I finished applying my foundation, I went in with S101 again, but this time I used it to apply my concealer, and I used it in a tapping motion to really add coverage. And after my concealer, I went in with S102 and I used my translucent powder to set the concealer. And once my concealer was set, I went in with S103 and I used this to apply my loose powder, and I set my entire foundation and face with this. And I really like this because normally with fluffy brushes like this, my powder tends to fall out, but with this, the powder really adhered. I went back in with S101 to apply a little bit more concealer where I thought I needed extra coverage. I started my eyes with S204 and I used this to apply my primer all over my eyelids. After I applied my eyeshadow primer, I went ahead and I used S200. I used this with translucent powder to set the primer before I start doing my eyeshadow. Using the same S200 brush, I went in with the disco ball colored eyeshadow and I packed it all over my eyelids. I followed that up with S202 and I used this to apply a hot pink pressed pigment, and I put this all along my crease. And then I used S201 to blend out the hot pink color. I really like the shape of this brush because it's not your typical traditional dome blending brush. This is an angled blending brush, which really gets into the crease of your eye, and I found that this works very well to blend the color and keep it in place. I decided I wanted my crease color to pop a little bit more, so I went back with S202 and added a little bit more of that hot pink pressed pigment. And then to keep with the fun groovy train, I went ahead and I used S203 and I applied this beautiful lime green eyeshadow on the lower lash line. So what I did to achieve my wing liner is I used the S205 and I went in with Sirena and I dipped the brush and grabbed a lot of product, and I started from the outside and pulled the wing towards my eyebrow and then pulled it back in, and I followed along my lash line. And after I finished my wing liner, I went in with the 204 and I grabbed a little bit of concealer and I just cleaned up along the edges of the liner to give it a crisp, clean edge. I went back in with S103 and I used this to apply more translucent powder on my face to really set and blot away any shine. And then to add a little bit more coverage, I went in with the S102 and I applied some of my powder foundation to give it finishing touches and warmth to my skin. Using the S104 angled brush, I went ahead and I contoured and added warmth to my face. I really like this because it just really applies the color very smooth and very sharp. And then I used the S200 and I contoured the sides of my nose to add more definition. I used S105 to apply my blush along the apples of my cheek, and then using S102 I went in to kind of blend out the color and set it. I carved out my contour using the S101 just to give a lot of definition and bone structure to my face. Using S105, which is the same brush that I used to apply my blush, I went ahead and I used the clean side to apply my highlighter along the cheekbones and above. And then I went ahead and I added Cosmos all over my lip, and to create more of a bold, everyday supermarket look, I applied Luna on the outer corners of my lip to add a little bit of an ombre effect. And then I went back with S204 and using the remaining concealer on the brush, I went ahead and I cleaned along my lip line to give it a very fierce final look. And there you have it. There was my step-by-step, fun, colorful tutorial. My final thoughts on the brushes are, 1, they are amazing and very versatile. I love that they're synthetic, which is very great because you're not limited to using just one medium of makeup. You can use this for liquid, cream, powder, pressed pigments, loose pigments, glitter, you name it. You're not limited to what you can do with these brushes. I also really love that they're rose gold. They're very sleek, very luxurious looking, but they're also vegan and cruelty free, which is a plus for me because I don't believe in using animal hair brushes. I also really like that they're very easy to identify. The S100s are your face brushes and the S200 are your eye brushes. But of course, because they're multi-purpose brushes, you can mix and match and use them to whatever your heart desires. As a working makeup artist, you can't always bring your entire kit with you, so you're limited to what you have and what you can do. So I was very impressed with Suavecita's Sirena lipstick. It's a lipstick that I actually used as a cream liner. It stayed on during the duration of my tutorial. To me now talking to you about this, it has not smeared, it stayed put, and it was very easy to apply. I hope you enjoyed this colorful tutorial and that you were able to get some tips and tricks out of this. If you want to check out more of my work, check out the link below. Thanks for watching.